Hi, I'm Professor Clements, and today we're going to talk about doing math with significant figures, and we're going to talk specifically about how to do addition and subtraction using significant figures. Now, we talked in another video about how to do multiplication and division with significant figures, and that had one set of rules, and it turns out that addition and subtraction have a separate set of rules. And here, the answer has the same number of digits, and be very careful, I'm using the word digits here, not significant figures, after the decimal as the number with the least number of digits after the decimal. And again, just like I talked about in the other video, the theory here is that we're only as good as our worst measurement. And so if we're having addition and subtraction, we can't say, oh, I'm going to be this good when we know that we really weren't measuring things all that precisely. So the easiest thing is an example. If we take the number 1.55 and we add 3.0 to that, type that into your calculator, and hopefully you get 4.55. But we only measured this one to one digit after the decimal. We don't know what that next digit on that 3 is. It could be 3.04, it could be 3.01, it could even be 2.96, and that would have rounded up. So how can we say to somebody that we know something about this digit in this number when we didn't know what it was here? It could be any number, essentially. And so we say we don't know anything about that, and we say this one has 2 digits after the decimal, this one has 1 digit after the decimal, and so we are limited to only 1 digit after the decimal in our answer. And we look at the next number to know whether to round. It's a 5, so that means we're going to round up, and we're going to round this up to 4.6. Okay? So scientifically speaking, if you're out there measuring things, and you measure 1.55 and you add it to 3.0, the best you can tell me is that it's 4.6, not 4.55 like your calculator will tell you. We'll do one more example. 18.051. We're going to subtract off 17.981. And those are great numbers. I mean, look at all those significant figures. 5 significant figures, 5 significant figures there. We spent a lot of time carefully measuring these things. And when you subtract it off, your calculator is probably going to give you that answer, 0.07. Well, that only has one significant figure. Shouldn't we have 5 significant figures? No, but what we should have is 3 digits after the decimal. 3 digits after the decimal, so we should actually have 3 digits after the decimal here. And this is one of those cases where we're going to add digits to what our calculator gives. Most of the time we're going to be taking off digits from our calculator, but sometimes we have to add, so you always have to be aware. In this case, we want 3 digits after the decimal, and so to not change the number, we're just going to put a 0 there. And we have 0.070 as our answer. 0.07 isn't actually technically correct, because we know something about that 0, right? We know this one here, and we know this one here, and that they subtracted off to get 0. So let's tell someone that we know that number is actually 0. Okay, so that's how we do significant figures for addition and subtraction. It's the same rule for each of them. And if you had a bunch of them in a row, addition, subtraction, you just look for the number with the least number of sig figs. It doesn't work for 2, it works for 10 or 20 or 50, as long as you're just doing addition and subtraction. Okay, thanks for listening. Have a good day.